right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. And our friend Trey from Neil Rosenthal Wine Selections was in with his whole book of Bordeaux. And when he said my whole book of Bordeaux, and he wasn't kidding, he had like 25 wines. I think we tried like 15 of them, and I said, whoa, Trey, I got to get some work done here. And usually I don't say that when I'm drinking wine, because that is my work. But we were a little busy here. I'm getting ready to leave for a trip to Washington State, and I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of the game here. So we tried, like I said, over half of them, and he had a couple sauternes and some other things. We'll have to do at another date. But, you know, one of the things you can count on from Neil Rosenthal with his wines, you're going to find textbook examples of wines from those regions where they come from, and exactly what we have here with these Bordeaux Blancs and the Graves. The first two wines, Chateau La Rame, or Ram, R-A-M-E. Failed French class in high school and college. Anyways, all Sauvignon Blanc, very bright and fresh. Green melon, white grapefruit, citrus, a little musky and briny notes shown there as well. Green melon and white grapefruit cocktail fruit showing. That savory, briny quality from the nose shown through in the finish. A very good little example of Bordeaux Blanc. Maybe a little expensive at 21 bucks, but very good nonetheless. All right, the Chateau Honnay, L'Hermitage, Graves, and this wine's got 65% Semillon, 20 Muscadel, 15 Sauvignon Blanc. Only 9,500 bottles produced, a small producer. They do use some Barrique here, and you get a little bit of that vanilla bean spice with a pretty floral note, some nice perfume to the melon and fig fruit. Nice texture on the tongue with that ripe tree fruit and melon showing through, and a touch of oak spice. Really nicely balanced. A very good little wine at 35 bucks. Well, maybe a little expensive also, but very good nonetheless. All right, Chateau Honnay, L'Hermitage, Cana. And this is a 1 hectare plot, gravel and clay soils, a blend of 50 Semillon, 35 Sauvignon Blanc, 10 Sauvignon Gris, and 5 Muscadel. That's more grapes than usually you find in a white Bordeaux, a white Graves. This wine sees the same oak regiment, 9 months, and larger oak, a mix of old and new. A bit riper and fruitier in style there. This wine's got that ripe fig and apricot and pink grapefruit, and white flowers, and that gravelly, minerally note you get from Graves also showing up here, especially on the second day. Nice richness on the tongue, smooth and creamy with a nice tangy finish, that oak spice lingering at the end, but nice balance here at $42.50. What is the theme of today? Maybe just a little expensive. Anyways, the Chateau La Rame Bordeaux Rouge. Bordeaux is a very competitive wine growing region. There's a lot of wine that comes out of there. You got to be priced right to sell. This is a Bordeaux Rouge at $20, which to me also for Bordeaux Rouge, it was good. Equal parts Cabernet Merlot, good amount of forward berry fruit, berry and plum, and nice seductive entry-level Bordeaux 2011 produced wines that are very forward and drinkable. Really smooth and easy drinking wine. Some of that earth and spice showing at the end. Like I said, maybe it's a little expensive, $19.50. Okay, I sound like a broken record. 2010 La Rame La Charmille from Cadillac. And this is from the South Medoc area, Cadillac, under sauternes, a blend of 65% cab. They use some neutral oak here, some earth and herb notes there, to tobacco spice, to the dark plum and currant fruit. Nice touch of toasty oak spice here in the finish, mocha, to the dark cherry and plum fruit. Nice freshness here. A very good little wine at $27. I'm not going to say it again. Okay, Chateau Bellegarde Figeac. We already reviewed this wine. A nice little Saint-Emilion for 42 bucks. Merlot, Cab Franc, and Cabernet Sauvignon, different proportions than we listed the first time. I think Trey just made it up the first time. He was reading through his notes on this one, so probably right here. Cooler vintage from Bordeaux 2008. You notice some cigar box spice, some green bell pepper to the red plum and cherry fruit. Very smooth and balanced wine on the palate, though. Nice amount of that dark plum and that cigar box spice and fresh earth showing through. Really classic Saint-Emilion for $42. All right, the Chateau Eau Sigots. I said there's a lot of wines in this tasting here. Saint-Emilion Grand Cru, mostly Cabernet Franc, which is kind of unique. Only one other wine I can think of, Cheval Blanc, that's mostly Cabernet Franc off the top of my head. And a nice amount of dirt here on the nose with cedar, currant, berry fruit, tobacco spice, and nice evolution here showing this is a 2006, which is a vintage that drinks really nice right now from Burgundy. Good amount of berry fruit, though, still here, and that tobacco spice. And $45 a bottle. All right, this Chateau Clos Saint Andre. I'm sorry, there's no chateau here. So this is a garage they make this on. If it says chateau, it's a chateau in Bordeaux. If it doesn't say chateau, it's a garage. That's how you know a garage is wine. Anyways, this is a single hectare plot planted in 1923. The average age of the vines is 60 years old, and mostly Merlot with the rest Cab Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon. Took a day to open up. This wine was not really showy on the first day, but on the second day, some nice plum and cherry fruit showing, a little cigar box spice and fresh earth, kind of clay-like minerality, plush and velvety on the tongue, some fine tannins, a little bit of a green note there at the finish, chocolate and kind of clay minerality. Excellent, Pomerol after it's all said and done, after, the second day, but $90 a bottle. Ooh, wow, man. All right. Anyways, Graves for $35 from Chateau Donnay. The L'Hermitage Graves Rouge for $41. And the Peyrade Au Medoc. I'm sorry, I just went right over those wines because to me, just grossly overpriced. I mean, very good little wines. But for Graves, usually you find Graves in the $20 price range for the Reds. You see $40 for a reserve wine. Anyways, the Chateau La Peyre. P-E-Y-R-E? You say that. Anyways, they make an Au Medoc, a Saint Estèphe in this line. And, the Au Medoc, very nice at $28, very distinct. The 2011, very forward, very drinkable style. And then the Saint Estèphe, classic austere Saint Estèphe. Really excellent little wine. Probably my favorite of all of them at $47 1/4, though, for an 08 Bordeaux. I don't know where Neil Rosenthal's selling these Bordeaux, man. Anyways, very good wines. Typical of what you're going to find from these regions. For me, everything in this lineup, just a little more than what you can find some comparable products for. All right, that's what we had to drink with our friends from Neil Rosenthal. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.